everyone, this is Jill, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another YouTube hop, this time for October, and the theme is fall. And so I'm making this on a sunny day, which might not be the best. Last time it was rainy, so I'm just going to have to roll with what I have here with the natural light. So I'm going to walk you through the layout that I'm working on, and then you can join me in finishing it, because this is just the start. I made a whole bunch of die cuts of fall botanicals, leaves and such, mostly from a Tim Holtz, from two Tim Holtz sets, mostly his set of leaves, but there's another one that involves some flowers, and I have one flower that I'm using from that set. To say a little bit more about my fall theme, I decided to go ahead and put some texture paste on my white page, my white background page. Sorry, the stencil's sticking. And I used this stencil, which is a Echo Park with a whole bunch of leaves moving in different directions. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to add color or leave it white. I really like the tone-on-tone white, just for a subtle background effect. So I put a little bit up at the top there. It's probably hard for the camera to pick up. A little bit here and a little bit down here below the photos. So we'll see as I put everything else on, because I've got a lot more in mind that will bring a lot of color to it. So it might be nice just to have the texture and not add extra color. But anyway, the idea for my page is, it seems like I've got like 2 or 3 pictures of myself with my dog, and that's it. And they're taken in October. So maybe I'm just going to make this an annual tradition that the two of us get our pictures taken together in October. So I have one from the first year of her life, 2014. And one from last year, 2021. And so I put these two together to show this chapter. It's interesting. It's a chapter related to her life so far, and also to some changes that I underwent in 2014, which really felt like, a fresh start. And so, it'll have that meaning for me. And I also, though, wanted to do a few different things. One is the leaf die cuts for the fall theme. The other is to work with some paper layering. So I just cut a bunch of paper from Vicki Boutin's lines. This is not entirely from Print Shop, though most of it is. There's a little bit on the bottom layers from Storyteller. So I pulled out some of the older paper because I really loved the greens and the deep burgundy reds and this peachy color, which will run throughout the layout. And so the Print Shop line also has cards and tags that I've just really been crazy about. And there was a camera on one of the cards, so I cut that out to go with my title, October Photo Shoot. I just stamped this in black ink with a coordinating small and large stamp set. You probably have something like that in your stash. There are lots of options, and I just chose this one because it would fit well in this space. And I didn't do this on camera because it's just like me stamping in black. What I did was I started at the back and moved that way in my with my title and my subtitle. Okay, and then this is a little bit from a sheet of paper that has a lot going on, and I believe I've got some more to include, but I'm including part of it up here in this corner, just because I like it, the faux washi tape and the splatters and so forth. So that was my starting point. As you can see, I did a couple little rectangles with the dates. I already put down these really cool, this is in the leaf set, but I love the little delicate detail of this die cut. I've been really into die cuts lately, hence my choice of what to focus on this page. So I cut one out of a sort of spotted bluey turquoise paper. This might be from Amy Tangerine. I used a little bit for my scraps from some 6x6 paper pad scraps that I had. And this too might be from one of those pads. I think it was actually a wood grain paper. Okay, so let's go from here to doing the bigger, let's do the bigger pieces. I knew I wanted to use this from Vicky's cut apart sheet because the focus is really myself and my dog. So, and as I like glued these down, I still left room to layer underneath. So hopefully that'll work. Let's get this guy in place. And then I'm going to embellish on top of that. But before I do that, the next, just kind of toss those off. The next step is this piece, which is from Storyteller. But it says enjoy every moment, stay wild. And you don't know if you can see from when she's a puppy, she was extremely wild. And so she's still wild in her own ways, as we know when she barks in the background of these videos. So I thought that felt kind of appropriate. I knew that when I was kind of trying this out earlier, that this would not be the whole butterfly, that I'm really kind of tucking this under. In fact, I think there's a sheet I wanted to put even under this one. See if I can grab that and get that under there. Yeah, because as I said, this... Let me think how I want to do this. I'm just going to tinker around with this a little bit. I think I will go ahead, even though I've got some adhesive on that one, I'm going to go ahead and put this piece down first. These are all from the cut apart, I cut some paper I cut apart from Print Shop. And I knew that this would be nice because I'll have this place to journal, even though I could journal right on the background. It kind of gives me a place. I know I'm going to cover some of it up. In fact, I'll probably end up covering up, just so everything fits, some of this work that I did with the texture paste. There we go. And so these are like extra layers, like peeking out from my main stack under my photos. And I feel like that's kind of all the big pieces in place. And now we can have fun with the smaller pieces. And let's see, I know a couple things I want to do. So I'm going to kind of, as usual, work from large to small. And this is cut from, this leaf was die cut from some of the Vicky paper. And I'm going to kind of go like that. What else do I want to do? This is another somewhat large one. I really love her paper. This is probably maybe from Storyteller. That's this textured deep olive green. That really appealed to me. Kind of, I like the little stems, so I'll tuck that under, but make sure the stem is showing. I knew I wanted to use the flower in this cluster. So this is a flower from the Tim Holtz. I can't remember what it's called. It's a relatively recent release, but you'll see it. It's like a lot of his flowers are kind of funky. So to call it Funky Flower is not going to help you because that might be a whole different set. But at any rate, and this is definitely Amy Tangerine paper. Oops. Fuzz on that. You can see, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's got a little bit of shimmer to it, as that line of hers relatively recently had the shimmer late afternoon. It was probably last year's fall line from her. I'm just going to put it there for now anyway, on the corner of the ampersand. I love ampersands. I know they're not for everyone, but I really think they're great. Okay, a kind of medium size leaf. This is just so much fun doing. I wanted to do this on camera because this is the part that I find like really enjoyable. Just kind of doing the scattering of the die cut leaves, and they add so much color and texture and are just really fun, I think. Sometimes, people who reviewed the die set weren't happy with how small some of the leaves are. I love that. I think they're so adorable when they're really small like this. And even though this is a 12 by 12 layout, the larger leaves, have that kind of heft to them, but it's really fun to have a variety of sizes, I think, and to put in these tiny leaves for contrast with the larger ones. One thing that you'll notice as I go, I'm thinking in terms of some basic clusters. So this is one, this is another one, and this is the third. And I want one of these red leaves in each cluster. This was actually cut from Christmas paper. So if you have some scraps from last year, red is red. It works great in the fall as well as in December. So just gonna pop this in here somewhere. Let's see, where do we want it? The other thing with the 3 is I want them, I think, to be going in slightly different directions. So I don't know if I want to layer this on top or layer it a little bit more over the ampersand and put some other stuff in there later. I can always change my mind, but for now, I think I'll just kind of like tuck it there. Yeah, adds that punch of red. I've got like such a red sweater on in that 2014 picture, so I really wanted to like move the eye around with that red and not have it be like the only thing, even though it's good that it draws your eye to the photos. Okay, I think I'm going to start the next, let me see. I think I'm going to start the next cluster by picking up another one of the third of the red, and just as long as we talked about that. You can see the snowflakes here on the back. Just tuck this in toward the bottom, again going in a slightly different direction from the others. And this peachy color is from Print Shop. The camera picks up the color. That's sun coming in. I want to put it kind of like this so it's over. It's got a contrast with the white background. And this little oak leaf, I think the oak leaf can kind of go somewhat up on the photo mat stack. I also did a little stitching with white just to add some texture there to the photo mat. Okay, and then another one of those little cute leaves. Here we go. Okay, now I want to allow room here for journaling, but I do have a few die cuts left to use, and you've got the 3 cluster areas, but I might extend this by doing a little bit more, so it's not quite so bare here, because I probably won't have a lot of journaling. It's not so much that kind of spread. Okay, that's kind of cool. And then I think I might do one next to these textured leaves, just kind of bridging the gap there, and yeah, allowing space to write. Just put one like this. Okay, now with all these leaves on the page, you're getting an idea of what it looks like with its kind of like its 3 main elements that surround the photo and kind of frame it, and then each one is like leafy, and then I've got the one flower. I've been so crazy about these Fancy Pants Memory Lane puffy stickers for fall. As you can see, I've used a lot of them. So I thought about a couple things. One is I might take a little tiny leaf stamp and do a little bit of stamping in each cluster, again for a smaller size, but for something a little different. As long as we're sitting out in front of houses, I thought about adding a house to this cluster. We'll see if I like it there, or maybe down here is better. Yeah, there. That's kind of cute. And then up here, it might be better to use one of these floral elements. You can also tuck some of these, and I thought I'd tuck some dots into the layers of there. That's nice. It adds a little bit of a different texture. I wanted memory lane, not necessarily nostalgia, but memory lane. That seemed appropriate. Enjoy every moment, stay wild, and then maybe we'll put memory lane in with those phrases and have a little cluster of 3. The pear. I wanted to use the pear. I think that pears seem like fall. And so long as we have them here, I might try to work this in like right about here. And I wanted something there anyway to kind of bridge the where the paper joins. There, okay. Yeah, just looking to see if there's anything else I want to use from this. I guess not, probably not. And let's see what we can do. I pulled out some enamel dots to see what I might like on this page. And I think this color is nice, this really dark color. So let's do a kind of, I see Chamel doing this all the time, so let's try her method of kind of having, as she says, having them bubble up from the different layers. You can tuck it under a little bit. There we go. That might be a little bit too far under. There's so many great fall lines and fall papers and fall colors in Cherry on Top's shop. So I'm sure you'll find a lot of inspiration there if you're just now looking around for things that you can use. Oops! Oh, they just want to run away from me. Now, I think here we want more of maybe some of this blue. So we got some blue down here too. And blue against the orange. You can see that despite the sun glare. We've got 3 sizes here, so I might just go like that. Okay, I might adjust those dots a little bit as I think about it, but it gives you an idea of how you can do that. And then I'll probably add, just to extend that outward, add some enamel dots in these clusters too. Maybe one of each color in each area. But that gives you an idea of how to pull together on a very sunny day, how to pull together a fall layout using die cuts, possibly texture paste. I think that's an optional element, but it's cool for me how it adds a little texture. This is a 49 in Market white paper that's really easy to stamp on and really sturdy. And yeah, and a few little fall themed puffy stickers. And then I'm able to tell my story with my two photos about our October photo shoots. And this has also motivate me maybe to do another one this year. Thanks for joining me, and be sure to hop along to get store credit. Hop along, make comments. The other team members are working with either fall or Halloween, both great topics to pursue in October. And happy scrapping, and thanks so much for stopping by.